What's up, my coinaholics? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you for joining me on another, hopefully enlightening video for you guys looking to, maybe perhaps score big. Yeah, we have a good one here for you today. So for all my cherry-picking kings and queens out there, oh, and little princesses too, can't forget them. We have an opportunity here to possibly find something pretty nice, quite valuable, and we're talking life-changing money. So, if my thumbnail has kind of lured you here to this video, then I guess it's done its job. And no, it's not really fake news or spam or anything like that, because this can be an opportunity, and this can be a reality. $53,000 off of a $50 1957 Proof set. Yes, you heard that right. And there are just a few different types of coins you have to look for in order to possibly make this kind of money. Now, for $53,000, you would need essentially a perfect run out on every single coin that is included in a 1957 Proof set. So a lot of you are probably going to give me the hard question. So what's the catch, Shawnee boy? Well, it's real simple. We're going to be looking for some cameo coins. They could be regular cameo. They could be deep cameo. Of course, that's where all the money is. But the reason why I picked the 1957 Proof set is that it is still a relatively affordable proof set by today's standards. Compared to everything else in the collectibles market that has gone up in value, I would say proof sets of the late 50s have all sorts of potential. And guess what? There are collectors for every seat out there, including these specific coins we are about to talk about today. All right, so I'm pretty sure I just fumbled my words there, but that's okay. I'm just really excited to offer up this presentation on how you can make some money off of this particular proof set. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the proof set by itself. All right, so in 1957, there were only 5 coins inserted into this particular proof set. We have a Lincoln cent. This is the wheatback variety. There's a Jefferson nickel. There's a Roosevelt dime. All right, that one particular coin is 90% silver. A Washington quarter, which is also silver. And then finally, the kind of like odd man out of the bunch is going to be the Franklin half dollar. A very short-lived series, and it's considered obsolete because they're not being made today anymore. But yeah, these things have been out of service, I suppose, since 1963. But prices have remained relatively affordable for raw examples. So even though this is a proof set direct from the U.S. Mint, it is still considered a raw set. So a raw set today just means it hasn't been graded. All right, so this is a really big opportunity, and I'm willing to bet there's a lot of you that know and can locate a number of these that have gone for many years without even being looked at. Because I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, proof sets in general have lost a lot of its luster in the last 25, 30 years, that it kind of affected the whole series in reality. A lot of the coins, a lot of the proof sets that go back even into the 40s have been long forgotten. And oftentimes there was a period of time where you couldn't even move these, early 2000s. I remember having even some of those like 55s, 54s. I couldn't get rid of them. Not for a reasonable amount of money. So those are sets that I've kept over the years, and they have appreciated quite a bit since about 15, 20 years ago. So at the very least, those have appreciated in some way. But if you looked at every single coin in this particular set, all right, you'll notice one thing. Every single coin, maybe the dime might be a little bit of the exception, but every single coin here exhibits what I consider to be no frost or no cameo, and those show up on the devices, and you'll see exactly what I mean by that. But if you looked at every coin looks completely mirrored on every single example. This, by the way, is just a token that's included in the proof set. But aside from that, this is generally what your proof set's going to look like if you went out and said, you wanted to look for one. All right, more than likely it's going to look like this. It comes in this brown envelope. Sometimes they'll have a little insert piece there, a little message from the mint telling you about craftsmanship and, congratulations and all that stuff. But oftentimes, finding sealed proof sets from the 50s are pretty scarce. And if you're able to find some, they can command a pretty big premium all by themselves. I've seen 57, 58, 59, and 60 proof sets still sealed in their original envelope, haven't been opened or anything like that, have sold for probably upwards of 10 to 15 times what their actual set value is in today's market. All right, so something to keep in mind, 5 coins. We're going to talk about some of the finest of each one. I'm going to show you exactly how I derived at $53,000 because, yeah, it's just insane the amount of value there is in a proof set of this type. Now, the only thing that I didn't talk about or bring up in this schematic is how much these are available for on the secondary market. Now, a quick eBay search will find that you could buy 57 proof sets for right around 40 to 60 bucks. Yeah, I know that's kind of a wide range, but I've seen some of these proof sets sell for as low as about maybe like 42 to 45 bucks, and then I've seen them as high as 55 to 60. Now, it really all depends on the quality of the coins. Another thing to keep in mind is the mintage. There's 1,247,952 total proof sets produced for 1957. So while the mintage seems low by today's standards, it's still very plentiful. So if you want to get one, they are out there in droves, and you will have no problems obtaining a 57 proof set. All right, so we're going to start it off at the lowest denomination and work our way up to that Franklin half dollar. And you're going to see exactly where all the value is. Let's say in the most imperfect of circumstances, and that's generally going to be about 99% of the time, unless you're a really good cherry picker and you know various sources where you could find a lot of these older proof sets. Oftentimes you'll find, maybe that cameo or deep cameo coin. A lot of the value, of course, is going to be in the deep cameo, the higher end of the grade scale. But this is the Lincoln cent. So we have 3 1957s here. You got just a regular red. All right, that's kind of like what you saw in that proof set earlier. And then we have cameo and then deep cameo right here, which is going to be a coin that exhibits a tremendous amount of frost on all of the devices, offset by just highly mirrored fields. The coins will look incredible, and they're hard to miss. But in this particular instance, this last line right here is proof 68, so that's the highest grade that has been recorded of such a coin. As you can see, $8,500 is the top end. This is a price guide schematic direct from PCGS's website. So again, it's a price guide that is not necessarily in print, but it's visual. And normally the prices will fluctuate around these prices here. So even if you didn't score that proof 68, which is essentially a flawless coin, I mean, it's a good looking coin. But let's say maybe you ended up in a 66 or 66 plus, or even yet, a 65 deep cameo, which does exist. Just go ahead and take a look at the values across the board here. You will be pleasantly surprised at how much you can make off of these coins, even though it's not the biggest one. Now, this is an example that's sold on Heritage Auctions. This one right here is actually a PCGS Proof 68 Deep Cameo. It has a population of only 2 at this highest grade level. But this is just a stunning coin, as you can see. It's got a nice amount of frost all on the devices, all the letters, the date, and the reverse as well. It's kind of hard to see because Heritage did a phenomenal job at imaging this, that you're going to have to go to the slab and see the frosting on here is going to show up a whole lot better than the other close-up images of the actual coin. But this one sold January 2018 for $7,200. It's been the highest graded example sold. None have sold since then, so it just gives you an idea of how scarce they are. I'm a firm believer that there's plenty more where this came from. Plenty more being that there's probably a few more examples, maybe 5 to 10, in regards to the total population, so these are out there. There are a lot of collections that remain hidden up to this point. So, maybe with some good luck and good hunting and a lot of hunting, if you just went to one coin shop and then call it good and you didn't find anything, and then, tell yourself that you failed in this particular instance, then you're not doing your due diligence. I know people that cherry pick daily, all right, whether it's online or at a local brick and mortar or a local coin shop. So keep that in mind. Do not give up the hunt. All right, so the next coin that we have here is going to be the Jefferson Nickels. And again, as you can see, you got proof, cameo, which exhibits, a nice good amount of frost, but not on all devices, and then a deep cameo, which is the one that you want. But go ahead and take a look at the values. This particular one right here is proof 67, this line right here. So we got $4,000. As you can see, even if the grade value drops a point or half a point, it's still worth quite a bit of money. $3,500, $3,550. Again, deep cameo, that's where it's at. But even take a look at this. Even some of the cameo grades might be worth sending off to PCGS or NGC. Like $1,200 here is for a 67 cameo. So if it's got enough frost to warrant that, it's probably not a bad idea to send them off. Now you guys probably think, Blue, these grades are absolutely ridiculously high. Proof 67, proof 68. Keep in mind, we're talking about proof struck coins. These coins are high grade as it sits. The only thing that's factored into this that'll make it somewhat of a treasure hunt is the cameo aspect of it all. All right, being able to find one in that set with full frost on both sides. It can't be just one side. It has to be both the obverse and the reverse of the coin. All right, so here is the one of the more recent, more expensive examples of a deep cameo 57 Jefferson nickel. That's this one right here. This is a proof 67 by PCGS. It is a pop 1, which means it's the only one graded at this level. Now, if you looked at the actual slab, you could see the frost a little bit better on the devices. This particular example sold on Heritage Auctions July of 2016 in the amount of $3,055. I would say in today's rather hot collectibles market, this one would probably be worth closer to $4,000, maybe even a little bit higher than that. You just never know. But there's been no other examples to test the market. So I think it's high time that one of my viewers, my listeners, will find one of these and should, kind of test it out. That's for sure, because I think all these coins on the list have a lot of potential and a lot of room to grow. So here's the pricing stats for the Roosevelt dime. As you can see, the deep cameo, top end, grade value here is $4,000. And that would be for proof 69. So yeah, there is at least one example graded a point away from perfect, which is pretty miraculous. But we are talking about Roosevelt dime. These coins were small and they were, for the most part, pretty well struck, especially for proof coins. So again, there's some opportunity here. At proof 68, proof 69. Really not a lot of room for error on this one because it has to grade out really high. But in terms of what the coin will look like, this is probably the best represented deep cameo coin on the list. This example right here is a PCGS proof 69, so this is pretty elite company right here. It's a pop 12. All right, so there are 11 other examples that grade out as 69. So that'll give you an idea of how much easier it is to find this particular grade of this coin. All right, so it's not impossible. There's 12 total. into pops. This one right here sold for $2,703, April of 2021, and it's sold on Legend Rare Coin Auctions. And here is just a really pretty image of not only the PCGS holder with all the stats on there, but also the coin. This one unmistakably is a deep cameo coin. Even if you were to put your hand right over the label, you would know it's a deep cameo coin without even reading the label. All right, so we're down to some big coins here. We got the Washington Quarter. We got all three types. We got the Proof Cameo and Deep Cameo. Take a look at the Deep Cameo pricing stats, okay? The highest price guide value is $5,250, and it goes down a little bit from there. Keep in mind, from 2 grade points away, it might even still be worth sending this out to the graders, all right? If you can make $300-400 off of your Deep Cameo Washington Quarter, I would say that's a pretty good flip. I don't know about you guys, but if you can't hit the big one, you can certainly go for the little mini ones. That would be worth it as well. So this is the only image I have of this coin. I don't have the coin slabbed image because this one was sold on Stack's Bowers way back in 2012, so they didn't add in the actual slab in their listings at that point. But this one is a really nice look. I mean, look how black and mirrored the fields are around the actual devices. That's what you want to see on these Deep Cameo coins. This particular example right here was graded PCGS Proof 69. It's also a Deep Cameo, and it is a Pop 5, which means there are 4 other examples that graded out 69. So these are out there still. I'm a firm believer that they are. And this one also sold on Stack's Bowers for $2,703, August of 2012. And I bet you guys are pretty hyped to see the last coin, but it is the most expensive coin. The kind of like the big chase piece in the 57 proof set, and that's going to be the Franklin half dollar in all this. I mean, just look at this big, huge number here, which, by the way, is proof 69. So don't let that number scare you, okay? That's very obtainable, seeing as how there are a number of them that grade out at this level. But just go ahead and take a look again at the lesser price guide values. I mean, you could go all the way back to 68, 67, 66. Maybe even you can even grade this, and if it comes back to 65 Deep Cameo, I mean, we're still talking a good amount of money. I would certainly not send this off because if you can make $200-300, I mean, that's still a good rip and flip on that one. But yeah, $32,000. So has there been any of them that have sold within the last like 5 years that even came close to that price guide value? Well, what if I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that the couple that did sell sold for over this amount? Wouldn't that be crazy? Well, I'm happy to say that the Franklin Half Collectors Society or group or collector base, or however you want to classify them, are probably some of the most impassioned collectors. And a lot of them have these wild out-of-sight registry sets, and they pay a huge premium for these coins, whether it's a Deep Cameo Proof or a Full Bell Lines Business Strike. I mean, they pay it all. Excuse me. So this one right here is a coin that you shouldn't sleep on, even in regular Cameo. I mean, it's worth it if you know it's got like a little bit less frost than what you think it should qualify for a Deep Cameo. You should probably still send it in, because if you get that 68 Cameo, it's still a rather expensive coin. But there you go. That's what that one looks like right there. And this one is a PCGS Proof 69 Deep Cameo. Simply stunning. This is again a Pop 4, which means there are 3 other examples out there that exist at this just bewildering, mind-numbing grade. All right, so this is a Pop 4, and here's a picture of the coin in the slab. This is the Blue Ocean pedigree, so this was part of that provenance, that collection. So this one sold for $37,000. $600 on Heritage Auctions, August of 2017. If that doesn't make your mind go berserk and you want it to explode even more, another example sold, I believe, earlier this year for $36,000 in the same grade. It's a different coin. It's not the Blue Ocean pedigree piece. But yeah, this has annihilated the PCGS price guide value, and that is simply insane. Such a rare, such a valuable coin. Now, alluding back to my thumbnail picture about $53,000, the amount of money I gave you in regards to that wasn't the PCGS collected price guide value of all the top pop coins. It was actually a collected value of all the coins I talked about that sold at auction within the last 10 years. So that's where I derived all that from. Now, again, you're going to need the perfect run out, obviously, to get $53,000. But what if you're the type that consistently cherry picks through these sets? Not only 57, but you can make the argument that 1956, which is another affordable date of Prue set, it has some really valuable coins as well. How about 58, 59? What if you cherry picked, the mid 50s all the way up to the late 50s into 1960? There's a lot of money to be made. And don't mistake just looking at 57s as being your downfall, because there are a ton of deep cameo and cameo coins to look for during this time period of U.S. coins. And they're all fantastic. I would highly encourage you guys to cherry pick every single date that you can, and then get one nice chunky order together and send it off to PCGS and submit them, to an auction house like Great Collections or Heritage. Because I guarantee you, you're going to see the money fly if you can hit some of these top grades. Because again, there's a lot of collectors for these. There's just not a lot of people searching the actual sets. And that's where you guys come in. There you go. There's a Prue set again. A vast contrast to the 5 ridiculously expensive coins that we looked at. So whatever you do not buy sets that look like this. If you're going to cherry pick highly frosted examples. And then you'll be in good shape. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this evening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my presentation on 1957 Prue sets and how you can make a living by cherry picking these coins and flipping them for massive profits. Man, do something good for once. Actually, we all do great things, but if you want to become a superhero and, pay off a mortgage, pay off a car, pay off credit cards, go ahead and do this. This stuff is out there in the e-commerce world today, ready for you to cherry pick. But that's going to go ahead and do it. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell for instant notifications. And then, until next time, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. Good luck with the hunt. We'll love to hear a good win story from each and every single one of you. You guys take care.